Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Careers at the End of the World. It's me, your host, Jenn Walker Wall, and I want to offer a quick reflection question today that I offered at our Going Retrograde retreat night last month that was pretty well received. I was doing some tarot-inspired questions, reflection questions, and I pulled out the Magician card. So if you're familiar with tarot, you of course know the Magician card. And one of the things, right, about the Magician card, which I'm sure everyone loves to pull the Magician card, is that the Magician has access to all of the elements of the tarot deck, right? And they get to use them on their journey. I guess it depends on your orientation to tarot, but I'm a fan of the tarot being the fool's journey, and we're moving through sort of a process. And they have access to all the other tools that we see represented in a lot of the other tarot cards, the wands, the pentacles, right? The cups, that sort of thing. And so the question that I used that was inspired by the Magician is, which elements are overrepresented in your job search and which are underrepresented in your job search? And for this, instead of using the tarot, cups, wands, that sort of thing, I just prefer to use the four elements like earth, air, water, fire. And you could swap out job search with any goal that you might be working on right now. The thing that I really like about the Magician card is that it reminds me that I have power, that I have autonomy, that I have choices, that I also am responsible for using those things, to choosing to use those things. And so every time I personally pull the Magician card, it's like, oh yeah, I'm pulling cards here, but like really I'm asking and I'm looking for information when like I on some level know what I need to be doing. I think the elements here like really help us think through the ways in which we can both get momentum and get stuck. Like we need all of the elements. We need the water, we need the emotional element to get really excited and to care about our work. We need earth for stability and continuity in a process. We need air, that's where all the ideas come from. We definitely need fire, right? Like that's going to jumpstart us into action. But sometimes we can have too much of one and not enough of the other. So if you are applying to tons of jobs, but like not paying close attention to your resume or the qualifications, maybe that's too much fire. Or, if you are doing a lot of thinking and brainstorming, but not a lot of interaction, like that could be too much air, right? And so all of these elements are good and we want to incorporate them. And I don't think you can really have any sort of job search or life change process that doesn't occasionally like overindulge some of these more than others, but it is our responsibility to check in and see what we actually need in this moment. And one thing that was missing for a lot of clients who answered during our retreat night was that earth was missing. There were a lot of emotions. There was even a lot of energy, right? A lot of fire, a lot of ideas, but not necessarily like a lot of consistent action taking or strategic action taking, perhaps I should say. And I'm offering that not in judgment at all, because like I actually relate. I get it. I get it. But also because of this chaotic context that we're all living in, where even logging into LinkedIn, you're seeing layoffs and, jobs are hard to get and things are tough. I think it's really, really important to tap into our own power. I think it's really, really important to make sure that we're not so overwhelmed or so frozen that we're not taking action for ourselves. And you're probably going to have moments where that is the case. We're not trying to eliminate it. We just want to make sure that there's enough room and balance of the elements so that we're taking good care of ourselves. And this is a good way to kind of assess, is there too much of something showing up in your search? Too little of something showing up in your search? All right, it's quick this week, okay? I'd love to hear from you. You can find me over on LinkedIn. You can hit reply to any of our Careers at the End of the World newsletters. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a great week. Take care.